What's up guys, David with Miracle Canine. Out here with Chubb. He's one of our newer board and trains we have in right now. Here for just a lot of general anxiety. You can see right now, if you look, we've actually been at this park now for about 5 minutes, but when we first got here, he was basically just like a statue in one spot, wouldn't move. I don't know if you could see it anymore, but like on the side of his jowls, he's got big like drool bubbles, which we know that obviously when dogs are stressed out, a lot of excessive salivation, right? And he's here, like I said, because of anxiety issues, mostly centered around like separation anxiety, kennel issues, things like that. So we've started to, oh, lady's pooping over there, perfect. So this is my first official time working this dog. He has been going through some of his basic obedience training. He's loosening up in socials, but like I said, he hasn't been here very long, and we're really looking to tackle this anxiety. And one thing we've really been trying to push on our channel quite a bit lately is obedience is important. Train your obedience, make sure the dog is compliant. That is essential to dog ownership. But past that, use your obedience in order to give the dog outlets to alleviate the day-to-day stresses that they have. So what are we doing right now? We've got him on our handy dandy 100-foot long line here. And what I'm gonna do here, because he was such a freaking statue when I brought him here for the first time, I'm gonna let him basically do whatever the heck he wants. I'm gonna let him loosen up a little bit. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna periodically sprinkle in just some really, really basic control. In this case, it'll be like a recall, where we'll use obviously just a little bit of negative reinforcement with the leash pressure in order to get him moving with us. So we're just gonna let him kind of hang out here for a little bit. Like I said, I like that he's actually off, sniffing, engaging. I mean, this is kind of the boring dog training that I think gets overlooked a lot of times when you're working with behavioral modification and you're watching like videos that trainers are posting. Is like the juicy stuff you want to see in video format is like actively working stuff, right? Or the dog misbehaving, or you correcting issues, or training something new, or whatever it may be. And you're not focused enough on, again, this really kind of basic stuff like this. So you see, obviously he's kind of locked onto some people hanging out over there. Chubb, good job. Come on, come on, Chubb, let's go. Good job, good job. So adding in a recall there. Good job, buddy, good job. Okay. And then we'll go back to letting him do whatever he wants to do. So in this case, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be reinforcing our recalls using the freedom as the reinforcement here. Chubb, come. Good job, buddy. There we go. And what I'm looking to see is him to start realizing that coming all the way to me is non-negotiable. And again, right now you see he's very nervous with me. It's the first time working with him. Okay. And I want to see more of those bursts where he kind of gets that little trot coming to me because he realizes that veering off is not going to be an option. Chubb, come. Good job, come on. Good job, buddy. And that was the very first one, obviously. No additional help needed. Came all the way to me on his own. That was great. Okay, come on. Additionally, notice how he's starting to follow me, starting to kind of interact with the game a bit. Understanding the expectations. And again, all we've done so far is just basic long line and flat collar, just negative reinforcement with the leash pressure. Chubbs, come. Good job, bud. Good job. Good job. Nice. Good job, buddy. Good job. Okay, come on. Chubb, come. Nice. Good job, buddy. Good job. Good job. Okay. Chubbs, come. No, Chubbs, come. Good job. Good job, buddy. Good job. So next two steps that I'm going to start adding into this is I'm going to add in my negative marker. So that was the first time when he made the incorrect choice. Obviously, I told him no for that. So I want to start identifying incorrect choices and trying to get him beating that verbal correction. And then the second thing I'm adding is I'm not reeling in the leash as he's coming to me, right? Sometimes that visual picture of you doing that can become a big guidance, if you will, and crutch. And if you don't do it, they start getting a little bit more confused because they don't have that visual picture of you like fishing lining them in. Okay, come on. Chubb, come. No, Chubb, come. No, Chubb, come. Good job. Come on. So super good rep here. Obviously, as he's coming to me, you see there's a dog walking by, which he was a little bit more distracted by, but that dog is still right over there, coming on over. He's doing pretty good with that. Good job, buddy. Good job. Okay. So we'll kind of move him in this direction a little bit, facing the dog, see if he gets distracted again by it. Chubb, come. No, Chubb, come. There you go. Good job, buddy. Now, this is not a dog, aggressive dog. He socializes just fine in the time that he's been here. But most dogs, when they single out another dog while out on the walk, they could have a bit of reactivity issues or just get overly distracted by it. Okay. A couple more of these. Now, you'll probably notice I'm being like, I don't want to say like abnormally soft on this dog, but like a lot of our other videos you'll see with us working dogs, training recall and long line outside, things like that. We're utilizing the e-collar a lot more. We're utilizing, you know, more firm corrections for things like that, obviously. And I guess what we're trying to highlight here with some of these dogs we're working with is when you have a dog like this clearly is not a dog that's a darter. This is not a dog that is going to get ridiculously distracted by squirrels and deer and smells and you know, dogs clearly and all of that kind of stuff. He's just a bit of an anxious guy. So when I work with dogs like that, I don't need to lean super heavily into the corrections, to loosen up and just enjoy the process of doing the game while still making it non-negotiable, right? Obviously, how we're getting to this place we're getting to now, where he's actually coming to me, I'm not needing any leash pressure, is the first handful of repetitions that I did it, he didn't want to come to me, and I reeled him in the whole way. I made it non-optional, and in his mind, because he is a bit more soft of a temperament of a dog, he realized, I just got to do it. And then as he realized each time that he did it, nothing bad happened, nothing scary happened, it's actually becoming fun, he's getting attention and stuff, we're seeing his motivation increase each time for it. Okay. You know, even this, there's a woman walking a child in a stroller over there. He looked at it for a second, but didn't get super distracted, right? This is not a dog that I need to have a ridiculous amount of pressure in order to teach these things. And the potential fallout from utilizing too much pressure with a dog like this is something that could wind up hurting us quite a bit. So you want to be very strategic about where you're adding it into. Obviously, there's going to be a certain point where we have to add in a bigger e-collar correction for him not coming. But if I could really boost his confidence in doing the behavior in the first place before I hit that point, there's going to be way less potential fallout from it in the first place. Chubb, come. Good job, buddy. Good job. Come on. Come on. Nice. Okay. Chubb, come. No, Chubb, come. Good job. I mean, he's doing it near perfect every time, which is awesome. You know, I'm not needing to give very much help. Like right there, quick no, obviously came the rest of the way to me. This is really where you hit the patience game. It's like, okay, I could look at this and say, God, he's, like Paige was just saying a second ago, like he's kind of Eeyore, right? Like he's slow. Like you could get like stuck in this mindset and forget this is literally my first training session with this dog. And the fact that I had him from frozen in a field to complying with a recall with a brand new person every single time, especially when he's really nervous of new people, like this is enormous progress. And as trainers, okay, even ourselves, we have to remind ourselves of that sometimes, because like you keep wanting to like up the ante and figure out ways to push it more and more, as opposed to like, wow, we just made serious strides. Imagine what 3 more training sessions of this is gonna look like. Chubb, come. Nice. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Okay. A little speed on that last one. This will be really interesting because he obviously likes Mercy a lot. So I'm curious how well he does with the recall with her present. So this may pose itself as an extra variable. The thing that I like though is, like I was saying, he is like way looser than he was yesterday. His tail's up more, a little bit more perked up just in general. So I'm enjoying kind of what we're seeing. Chubb, come. No. Come. Good job, buddy. Okay. Chubb, come. Good job. Now we're getting some urgency. So Mercy, this is the first time I've added the e-collar into this. Yeah. So yesterday, to again outline the steps that we've done so far, we let him get loose in the field first, right? From there, we shaped the behavior with just the leash. So I wasn't even giving commands. It was just, I know, hello. It was just literally just fishing him in with the leash, right? And just making sure he understood that like physical pressure of moving towards me with it, right? From there, I started putting some structure to how I was asking the command. So basically, I was going through the process of give the cue, right? From there, if he doesn't do the cue, identifying mistake with no, helping with leash the rest of the way. By the end of the session yesterday, where we got was he was actually responding to the cue almost 100% of the time. I'm sure you would say as well. Wasn't needing to say no or anything. He was just figuring it out, right? So we were conditioning it in, obviously. We got him to a place where he was understanding what the command was, right? So now, today when we're working on it, this is actually working out nicely because today there's distractions, right? He wasn't really distracted by much yesterday. Today he's distracted by you. He's distracted by Michelle walking by, obviously. So now we're in a place where we're proofing the command, right? And one thing that I'm really trying to kind of push a little bit more with, and the reason why we started doing the video with him in the first place on this, is with a lot of these anxious and fearful dogs that we're finding, I want to be much more intentional. I'm trying to push to be much more intentional about where we're using the e-collar and where we're not using the e-collar to get to just to be as efficient as possible, where I'm not needing to constantly correct, right? So this is good. This is actually working out really well. Okay. So we're kind of spending a bit more time with dogs like this in those teaching and shaping phases, right? And then once you've hit a point where it's like clearly the dog is starting to blow you off over certain circumstances, that's where we're really kind of cracking down with the enforcement of those things. Chubb, come. Good job, buddy. Good job. Okay. Chubb, come. Good job. Okay. Chubb, come. Good job, buddy. Okay. Chubb, come. Good job. Good job. Okay. Chubb, come. Nice. Look at that speed. Good job, dude. Okay. Chubb, come. No, come. Good. Okay. Chubb, come. Good job. Good job. Good job, bud. Good job. Okay. A little bit. See if I can get like 2 more good ones. I'm trying to like lose them, you know? Chubb, come. Good job. Okay. 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 Pretty good. Chubb, come. Good. Okay. I like it. That looks freaking sweet. That's like the ending that I wanted, you know?